produce nothing. The writer Wilson Mesner said, if you copy from one author, it's plagiarism, but if you copy from many, it's research. The cartoonist Gary Panter said, if you have one person you're influenced by, everyone will say you're the next whoever, but if you rip off 100 people, everyone will say you're so original. Mark Twain said, it is better to take what does not belong to you than to let it lie around neglected. On this beautiful Monday morning, I started reading Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And what a beautiful way to start off the week, because this is a very inspiring little book. This is the final installment in Austin Kleon's Steal Like an Artist trilogy. I've been reading his books for the last 3 weeks. This will be the final book from him I will be reading, and it's just really good stuff. One thing I find very interesting and actually quite meta about this book is that the book, Steal Like an Artist, is essentially just a bunch of quotes and ideas and notes from various artists and other creatives about the artistic journey. And he's just stealing from other artists. So that's kind of fun, very interesting. And one thing I really like about this book is that he explains right off the bat that there is nothing new under the sun. There is no such thing as a truly original art that is isolated from all other art before and around it. The best you can do is just collect different aspects of art from various influences in your life and bring your own unique point of view and influence to it. That's the best an artist can do in the year 2024, and I agree with that. And I'm liking it very much to the journey of a martial artist. So yes, a great way to start off this week's reading vlog. Welcome, guys. I think it's going to be a good week. Today was a good Tuesday because I went to the used bookstore, Bookworm Haven here in Pahrump. It's always a good time. I'm buying a bunch of books this week for my upcoming book haul video. Great way to start off the day. It's only Tuesday, and I'm already surprised. I think the breakout book for this week is going to be some silly zombie romance book that was going completely under my radar. I picked up Warm Bodies today, and I remember this title because I watched the movie over 10 plus years ago. I think I watched it on a date, perhaps. But it's a silly zombie romance book about a zombie who falls in love with a human. Not my usual cup of tea. But my wife was telling me how she really enjoyed the books, because it's a series, it's the first book in a series, but the book is so much better, and it's actually very different to the movie. I wasn't anticipating it being that different, but I opened it up, and I was absolutely surprised by how introspective and thought-provoking Warm Bodies is. I'm about 25% through, and it is way more than just a zombie romance book. It's a critique of culture, it's a critique of society, it's a critique of a life lived without meaning, a life lived without direction. And then someone stumbles into your life, and they bring meaning, and they bring light, and they bring laughter to it. So, not just a zombie romance book. It's very interesting so far. Today I cleaned up, I got pretty, I shaved, picked out my hair, I filmed for over an hour, I edited what I filmed, it'll be uploaded tomorrow, so the video 10 standalone books I want to read before 2025 will be uploaded tomorrow, so link to that. I also opened up You Like It Darker by Stephen King. It is his latest short story collection, and it's kind of cool to see that despite Stephen King's career spanning more than 5 decades at this point, he still is able to capture the same brutality, the same creepiness, the same eeriness 50 years later. I'm currently reading Night Shift as well. I took a break from it this week, but the tone is very similar to You Like It Darker. I finished 2 of his short stories today, Red Screen and The Fifth Step. The Fifth Step in particular was really good. It reminded me a lot of one of my favorite short stories from Night Shift, The Man Who Loved Flowers. Red Screen was also a pretty interesting critique about conspiracy theorists and how people will find any reason to believe anything, especially if it makes their worldview make sense and makes their actions seem in a better light. It's a very interesting short stories. I got some good filming done. Very productive Wednesday. Also, I very rarely read romance on this channel because I avoid smut of all types, and most modern romance is just porn and writing. But I'm really enjoying Warm Bodies. There's no smut. Very PG-13. Here are some of the beautiful passages that just brought a smile to my face. Oh, I'm not all for the lovey-dovey stuff, but I love a good old romantic quote. I look into Julie's face, not just at it, but into it. Every pore, every freckle, every faint gossamer hair. and then the layers beneath them, the flesh and bones, the blood and brain, all the way down to the unknowable energy that swirls in her core, the life force, the soul, the fiery will that makes her more than meat, coursing through every cell and binding them together in millions to form her. Who is she, this girl? What is she? She is everything. Her body contains the history of life, remembered in chemicals. Her mind contains the history of the universe, remembered in pain, in joy and sadness, hate and hope and bad habits, every thought of God, past, present, future, remembered, felt, and hoped for all at once. And also, I like this other one. But I'm not afraid of the skeletons in Julie's closet. I look forward to meeting the rest of them, looking them hard in the eye, giving them firm, bone-crunching handshakes. Yeah, those are just cute quotes. I like them. Thursday, I finished Steal Like an Artist. I loved it. I've loved all three of Austin Kleon's work. I've now finished his Steal Like an Artist trilogy. All great, thought-provoking books about the artist's journey, finding inspiration, finding subject material, finding the will to keep going, to keep pursuing your art, to build, to like make your own way in the world. And they're very relevant for the martial artist journey. People don't usually think of art when they think of martial arts, when they think of combat sports. But I feel like combat sports, more than any other type of sport, really have a lot of parallels with the artist journey, because there's just a lot more room for artistic expression and freedom and different tactics, and the meta always changing. Different weapons go in and out of popularity, in and out of style. It's a constant evolving arms race, and it's just the art form that I chose. Love Austin Kleon's work. Saturday. Today was a very interesting day because for the first time ever this year, I started a read and I decided not to continue on with it. That is very rare. I very rarely DNF a read. A few weeks ago, I was Googling good one-shot mangas. One-shot mangas are mangas that are resolved in one volume, one booklet. And one manga was titled A Girl on the Shore. And I put it on hold and I got it and I was reading it. And at first it just seemed like a story about two teenagers entering into a casual relationship. And then it just turned into hentai, and that's not my thing. I'm not into that crap. And then I started looking through Reddit about this manga, and I was like, okay, why wasn't this more clear? And then people are like, oh yes, A Girl on the Shore, half story, half hentai. So I definitely know what I don't like in manga. That's the first time I've kind of been lured into something. I know hentai and younger characters doing questionable things happens more often in manga, but yeah, I can't stomach it. So instead of reading that type of manga, I'm returning to Attack on Titan. I'm going to try to read 1 or 2 volumes before tomorrow on Father's Day. I'm going to relax, read some manga, finish Warm Bodies. It's going to be good. Sunday. Ended the week on a very good note. I finished Warm Bodies and I enjoyed that little zombie romance book immensely. I always say that I don't care for romance books. I don't care for that genre because I don't like courtship being depicted in like literature. I don't like spice, so I don't read smut. I'm not a big fan of romance, but I do love that changes the world, love that changes the individual, love that makes you a bigger person. It's romantic, but it's also just a universal human experience. Like, I'm married, I felt love, it's changed me, I relate to that in the characters. Warm Bodies is really good. If you're looking for like romance light, I think you'll enjoy Warm Bodies, but it's not my genre of choice, so take that as you will. I loved it. I also read a volume of manga. I lied. I did not end up reading Attack on Titan because I realized I'm on volume 5 and I have 6, 7, 8 in this omnibus. So I read a volume of Death Note instead. Death Note, it's a manga about a man who finds a notebook that if he writes anybody's name into it, they die. He gets a god complex. He's trying to change the world. It's dark. I'll be finishing that late this month or early next month. This week, not half bad. I finished 1 work of nonfiction, 1 novel, 2 Stephen King short stories, and 1 volume of manga, totaling to 620 pages. The breakout book for this week was Warm Bodies. Definitely the most fun I've had reading a zombie book in some time. The genre is not usually fun. It's always interesting, always compelling, but never is cutesy. And that book, it was really cutesy. I enjoyed it immensely. I might even continue on with the trilogy because it's a trilogy, but we'll see. I think Warm Bodies can just be a standalone, but we'll see. This week, I'm very happy about it. I got 2 videos filmed, uploaded, edited. One was really good, like the 10 standalones I want to read before 2025. Happy with that video. One is probably going to end up being the worst video I've uploaded to the channel, a series review for the Singing Hills cycle by Nhi Vo. I love the series. I couldn't justify reading it and putting the time into the series without making a video about it. I wondered why there was no videos about it on YouTube, and now I know. You could win awards, be popular, so to speak, but no one will care about listening to people talk about that book. We're learning. Worst case scenario, that video is just a learning experience for me. Best case scenario, it finds its audience sometime in the future. I'm good with either. That's all part of the artist's journey. Failures, successes, you learn, you live, you get better. And yeah, I'm quite satisfied with this week, but next week will be even better. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.